up, guys? JackGalactic here, back with another video. And today, I got a question for you. Is it possible that the recent Medallion Nerf in Fortnite actually improved the gameplay in Chapter 5? Let me explain. So, when Chapter 5 first launched and I dropped in, I, like a lot of people, was intrigued by the concept of the medallions. I definitely liked the idea of the mod benches and the automatic regen of the shield if you carry the medallion. All of that sounded great. What I didn't like, though, was the fact that it called out your location on the map. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're a super sweaty player, you're really good at the game, you're a try-hard, you don't worry about, whatever fights come your way, I can understand this not being a problem for you. But if you're an average Joe player like myself, someone that is not super sweaty, not a super try-hard, someone that's just playing the game casually for fun to have a good time, maybe your location being called out on the map is not really what you're looking for, especially in those initial few days and weeks of the chapter where it seemed like all the sweatiest players in the lobby were the ones going for the medallions. Because of that, I pretty much avoided not just the medallion, I avoided the medallion POIs altogether for the most part. I just didn't want to even be bothered by them. I didn't want to go in there and find a bunch of third parties who took me out as they were trying to work their way toward the boss. I didn't want to round a corner and see a bunch of AI henchmen that I didn't expect to be there coming my way. It just didn't seem like what I wanted my game to be about. And then the nerf came. So obviously the biggest thing that impacted the game was they drastically reduced the amount of shield you could get per medallion. You only get up to 50 shield for one medallion, and it takes all 5 to get up to 100 shield. So that right there pretty much took away any reason for someone to really truly carry the medallion. Then on top of that, if that wasn't bad enough, they reduce the size of the circle that shows your location on the map even for just one medallion. So all of a sudden now, not only are you not getting all the benefits of carrying the medallion, your risk versus reward ratio has just drastically gotten lopsided, because now not only do you have the reduced capacity to regen shield per medallion, so you don't have the benefit that way, but now it's much more distinctly calling out your location on the map, where before, especially for one medallion, it was pretty broad. So it didn't really seem like it was worth it to carry it anymore. And in fact, a lot of times I'd go to one of these POIs, go searching for the boss so I could try to get the medallion so I could go into the vault, and I'd round a corner and I'd just find the medallion there and realize that the player had come in, killed the boss, taken the mythic, got the medallion, went to the vault, got what they wanted, and then just dropped it. So it's people are not really, I'm not the only one, I guess, that is not seeing the benefit to carrying the medallions. In fact, I have absolutely done that very same thing. Went in there, killed the boss, got the medallion, dropped it, and then just went about my way, It doesn't seem worth it to carry it. But because of that, I'm starting to see a shift in the game. I'm starting to see a shift in who's going to these POIs. So the first couple weeks of this chapter, man, if you went to any one of these medallion POIs, it would be so sweaty. There'd be at least 6 or 8 players there in a solo game. I'd say 3 or 4 teams at a minimum. In a duos or squads game, it was just insane, and it was not a place I really wanted to land. But once my son discovered that Peter Griffin was in the game, and never mind the fact that he's never seen Family Guy a day in his life, but he's familiar with all the memes from YouTube and things like that, so it became his mission, and he wanted to go in and he wanted to kill Peter Griffin. So we had a Saturday or whatever day that was, I'm not sure what day it was, but we just kept dropping in over and over and over and going after Peter Griffin, and we had a really good time. And yeah, there were some times we did die to some third parties, and there were some times that we even died to the boss and the AI guards. But for the most part, we found that if we just went in, took our time, did what we were supposed to do, we had no problem with the boss. If there were third parties, a lot of the times we could just take them out and most of the time, if I'm being honest, we were landing uncontested. We were going in there and fighting the boss uncontested. We would be able to go in, take them out, get the medallion, go to the vault, never once even worry about someone coming up on us. And I think it's because, again, the sweaty players aren't really going for the medallions too much anymore. And your average Joe players, the ones that have already written them off and say, oh, they're not really worth carrying, they're not really going for it either. But I think that's a mistake. I don't necessarily think it's a mistake not to carry the medallions. I'm actually a big proponent of not carrying the medallions. I just don't think that risk versus reward is worth it, at least not with the way I play the game. But I do still think you should go for those medallion POIs when you get the chance, because the only place you're going to get access to the mod benches is going to be in those medallion POI vaults. Those are the only vaults in the game that have mod benches. Now, I know if you go to something like, say, Fortnite.gg or something like that, it'll actually say that there's a mod bench in every vault in the game. That is not true. That is not the case. The only place where there are mod benches are going to be in the medallion POI vaults. And that is really what makes this season so special. So my favorite weapon in the game right now is going to be the scoped pistol. And yeah, you can find it in the wild. You can find it in a chest in a blue or a purple rarity from time to time. But even a lot of the times, if you find a purple or a blue version, there's no guarantee that it has a scope on it. I've seen it both with and without. The fact is, if I want to carry a scoped pistol in a game, the best way for me to do that is to land at a medallion POI, get the boss, get the medallion, go to the vault, mod it out myself, and then I've got the weapon I want for the rest of the game. For me, that is the difference maker. Now, I'm not going to say that I have, higher kill games or more wins carrying that pistol over any other weapon in the game. That's not the case. But what is the case is those are always the games that I have the most fun in, because I'm carrying the weapon that I enjoy the most and that I have the most fun with. And that is the reason to go after the medallion POIs. So why don't you guys leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Tell me, have you dropped into the medallion POIs recently? Are you finding the experience to be the same as it always was, or is it a little different for you? Are you finding it a little less sweaty? I'd love to hear what you guys think. Alright, we'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.